And another dear friend of mine, Steve Forbes, Forbes Media chairman, editor-in-chief, and author of the very important book, Inflation, What It Is, Why It's Bad, and How to Fix It. Steve Forbes, so we got a lot of people running for president on the Republican line, not so much on the Democratic line. Ron DeSantis will throw his hat in the ring tomorrow, it is reported. But you are looking for a Reagan-esque statement of foreign policy, which, I mean, Donald Trump talked a little bit about foreign policy at the CNN town hall, but you're looking at a broad Reagan. Tell us more about that, please.
Reagan outlined a way to win the Cold War, which all the experts said at the time, 40 years ago, against the Soviet Union was impossible. This conflict was going to be with us forever. He realized that if the United States got back on track again, and he had a program for that to get the economy moving, killing that terrible inflation, showing the world that freedom works, and rebuilding a tattered military with a purpose, including the battle of ideas. I headed up the agency overseeing Radio Free Europe and Radio Liberty. Information is a great disinfectant against these totalitarian regimes. We could actually win this thing. And by golly, without a drop of blood, it was done. A miracle. So what I'm looking for in candidates today is, first, do you have a real program to get this economy moving forward again? And so far, it's been pretty sparse. Wonderful people out there, but how are you going to do it? And then tying into foreign policy. If you have a strong America, how are you going to deal with the hegemon aspirations of Putin in Europe? Ukraine is tied very closely to Taiwan. What is the overarching strategy for the United States? Just as after World War II, we came up with the idea of containment, hem the Russians in, and eventually the system will collapse. We stuck to it for 40 years, and it worked. So what is the bipartisan policy? And it would be bipartisan. I think the American people know what we're doing now is floundering, and the world is going to hell in a handbasket. What is your strategy to have a world safe, as Wilson misused the phrase, but safe for democracy, for liberal values, where freedom can flourish again?
Reagan talked a lot about peace through strength, but you had to have the strength at home. That seems
they're absolutely tied together.
World. And that ultimately was the decline of the Soviet Union and Soviet communism. We outbid them. Basically, when Reagan in the second term went over there to talk to Gorbachev, we were already growing 8, 9, 10, 12%. And he couldn't keep up with us. And so they folded. Now, that kind of, I don't hear that right now.
And that's
I almost hear some defeatism, which troubles me. I just want to throw that in. I don't mean to interrupt. But I hear a little bit of defeatism, and I don't like that one bit.
Well, there's sort of that malaise atmosphere that we had back in the 1970s. And what people wanted was, all right, how do we beat this? America's not in a period of decline. We're still a very young nation. We're not going to go the way of the Roman Empire, all that kind of stuff. So how do we turn this thing around? And it's amazing with all these candidates out there. You think there are at least one or two entrepreneurial candidates who will say, hey, Reagan had it right. We've done this before in our history. Here's how we can do it again, and start laying it out. People will listen, even on foreign policy. If they think you have something serious to say, strategic of how America's to move forward, how to prevent China from dominating Asia in a military way, let's hear it. The world is waiting for it. Japan wants it. India wants it. Malaysia wants it. Indonesia, Europe. They all want a strong America.
China needs to hear it. China needs to hear it. Russia needs to hear it.
The Chinese, I was recently in Singapore, Asia. A lot of people over there believe the U.S. is in a state of decline.
Right.
And one of the reasons they say, well, maybe he won't attack Taiwan, Xi Jinping, is because the U.S. rot will hand it to him by the U.S. declining. They believe that we're in a period of decline. We may have little rallies like we did briefly under the previous administration, Donald Trump, but they believe the U.S. is in terminal decline, just as the Soviet Union did in the 1970s. They thought the U.S. was in terminal decline, and people thought so in the 1930s. We've been through these periods before. So times and circumstances change, but the principles of progress and freedom do not. And that's what these candidates have to do. Not war on personality, that's very nice, but what can you deliver, and how do you plan to deliver it? And people are up for a serious discussion. It doesn't have to be a bumper sticker anymore.
Absolutely. Steve Forbes, great stuff. Thank you for sharing.